Hi everyone, Scott with CyberScribe.org, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get up and running with Eigrp, and that is a distance vector routing protocol. And if you are in the enterprise and you're working and you're not using OSPF as your routing protocol, well, there's a good chance you're using Eigrp. And if you're not in the enterprise, if you are just studying for networking exams, specifically Cisco, well, you're going to need to know Eigrp for that. So what's nice about it is it's pretty simple to configure, but it's also, you can get very deep into it with a lot of configuration changes. So we're going to basically start in the, in like the shallow end of the pool here, and then after this you'll be able to maybe do a little bit more advanced stuff and go a little deeper. So what we're going to do is we're just going to configure router 4 and router 5 and do some show commands and just kind of see how things work. So, like I said, R1 and R2 already have their commands configured. So let's get into router 4. First thing, router Eigrp 1. 1 is your autonomous system number. That has to match. So all these routers have to have that same one. And this is version 12.4 iOS. So if you have a version 12.4 iOS, the default for your network statements is going to be to auto-summarize them. And it auto-summarizes them classfully. So you see here, my all my connections are on the 10.0.0.something subnet, variable length subnet masking. So you can't have, it would just auto-summarize everything to /8, and I'm on /30, meaning that you wouldn't really be able to connect to any of these guys. So what we want to do is, for 12.4, is go no auto, and that turns off that auto summarization. If you're on version 15, I think no auto summary is default. Just be aware of that. Next thing we need to do is do some network statements. So network, and we're going to go 10.0.0.6, and a couple ways to do this. This matches that interface exactly, and we should see that's your console message showing that your adjacency to R2 just came up, your neighbor. And then let's go network 10.0.0.17. And here I'm going to put in the wildcard mask, and it will get a network statement up that way. Now, the wildcard mask, one way to do that is to subtract 255 minus the subnet mask, which is here is /30, which would also be 255. Okay, and then that's how you get your O.O.O.3. Okay, so just be aware of that, the wildcard mask. Next one we got to do is network. And we'll do the loopback as well. And let's do network. Oh. Alright. Now, on the 10 interfaces, Eigrp is going to be advertising routes out that way. So, if you're R4, you're advertising to R2, R1, and R5. Okay. I also had to put a network statement in for this loopback, so say this is like level, or like the 3rd floor or something. So what you don't want to do here is, if you're not advertising to any routers, we'll just save that bandwidth. And what we'll do is we'll go and say passive interface loopback, loopback 0 for that. And that it's not going to send out anything on loopback 0. Now, if it was like, fast Ethernet 0/1, it's the same thing. So that's just if R2 here was just your subnet network with all your workstations, it's this. It would be the same thing. Passive interface commands. So just be aware of that. And so another one we can call maximum paths, and you can see that 1 to 16 number of paths. 4 is your default, but let's say that we wanted to do just 3. So you have 3 good paths. You want to do that? We'll do that. And after that, one other thing just to be aware of is something called variance. Now, this is for unequal cost load balancing. Okay, so don't worry about it too much, but basically what it is if I say variance 3, then the metric of your, well, they call it a successor route here, the route that is actually used. If you have routes that are 3 times, whose metrics are 3 times that or less, then that will be, that's your unequal cost load balancing. It's a little complicated when you get into it, but just remember variance, and just say 3, and then just say unequal cost load balancing. Okay? And it looks like we're done on router 4. Let's go to router 5, and we'll just do these commands again. Do some network statements, and we should have 3 neighbors, and after that, okay, you might think that we're done, but we're not, because this loop back here, like I said, say that's like 4th floor. Alright, so we need to advertise that too. Okay, and whatever subnet, you just change your wildcard mask for that. And let's also do a passive interface, and let's just say loopback 0 for this. Save a little bit on that. And let me show you why we'll save a little bit on that. Let's do a debug Eigrp, and let's see what options. Let's go packets. We'll give it a second, but you'll see there's a lot of stuff going on. And then you see says sending hello. So right now the default is every 5 seconds it sends a hello packet. So that's why, if you can do some passive interfaces, it might help out a little bit. Okay, and now let's do some show commands. So show IP. Actually, let's check out the routes first. So let's go show IP route Eigrp. That's going to show you what has been discovered. That's D, signifies Eigrp. And here you see it looks like we're all good. So let's just do a ping 22, and we're good. Ping 1.1.1.1, and ping 4.4.4.4. Okay, we're good there. And that is all the way through. So more stuff you can do with that. Let's just do some show commands. Let's see what options you have. So let's go show. Show neighbors first. Okay, and here you see you got the 3 neighbors, and it shows on it shows their IP address. So the next hop IP address 22 and then 14 right there. And here the hold time, your default hello timer is 5 seconds. Your hold time is 15 seconds. So the thing is, if it goes beyond 15 seconds, it's gonna like think that it's dead, and then it's gonna send out packets for a different route. All right. Now let's go to show IP Eigrp topology. Oh. Okay. And what we have here is there's a lot here. So one thing to look at here is these successors. Okay, the successor is the actual next route that has been chosen, the one that's being used. Okay, feasible distance, this is the metric of that. So the feasible distance and the reported distance. There's a lot to this, and really this isn't kind of the place for that, but just vocabulary words, be aware of successor, feasible distance, advertised distance, reported distance. If you're studying, you're looking for that, you're going to run into that. Also, passive, just be aware passive is good. Passive means that everything is working, and it's just working. Active in this case means that it's actively searching out new routes. So all these are P, these are good. These are stable passive routes. So that's what passive means in this case here. And let's go show IP Eigrp. What else do we have? Okay, so let's just do traffic. You can look through some of these other things. And you see the hello sent and received, so there's a lot for that. It's only been up a couple minutes. and it's already sent and received 160, 161. One other thing you can do is go show IP protocols. Okay, and what's nice about this one is it shows you the passive interfaces. You see, remember that passive interface command, and it shows the networks, basically the network statements that we did. You see 32, that's because we did the O.O.O.O, and then 30 was O.O.O.3. Okay, and it shows here the routing information sources. These are basically your neighbors. Okay, and then the administrative distance there is 90 for internal. That's what we're working with here. You can see right there. All right, and I'm going to cut it at that point. Like I said, with Eigrp, there's a heck of a lot to do. There's a heck of a lot to learn, but you know, it's kind of a low barrier to entry. You only need a couple commands, and then you can just just throw it in your emulator or real equipment, start playing around with it, and you kind of learn through that way. So that's all I wanted to show you here, and I will see you in future videos.